Hi, I'm Connie Fuchsa with Foote Title Group, where we are passionate about making sure that your home closing process is simple, easy to understand, and that you and your home are protected when you walk away from the closing table with those keys. So, what I wanted to talk about for a little bit today was the home closing process a little bit, but more importantly, the title insurance. And you may say, what the heck is title insurance? Well, one of the things that a closing company does is they guarantee your ownership by giving you insurance that ensures that no one can ever come and make a claim against your ownership. And this is so very important because the ownership that you're purchasing, you think, wow, I'm buying a piece of property or I'm buying a home. And of course, the person that is selling it to me actually owned the property and they didn't owe anyone else other than who was actually paid off. That all of the information in the previous owner's records is all clear, so I'll never have a problem as long as I own this property. And so it's not really something that you ever think about. And one of the reasons it's so very important for you to actually make a choice on the closing company that you're going to work with is because home closings are insured by the company that does that closing for you. So if you're dealing with a company that isn't very reputable, doesn't deal with an insurance company that backs them, that is a company that has high standards and good history for working with customer service and those types of things, then you're going to ultimately could potentially have a problem with that experience. So let me stop for just a second and say, by the way, if you happen to be tuning in, please check in with me and say hey so I can see who's checking in, where you're checking in from. Hey, Diana, thanks so much for joining. And also, yeah, ask any questions that you may have because it helps me figure out things that we may want to talk about in the future. So again, back to the home closing process and the insurance. So you may think, gosh, why do I need insurance on the ownership of that property? Well, you're buying a piece of property and you're spending an awful lot of money, whether you're borrowing the money to buy that property, you're borrowing some of it, all of it, or none of it. You have an ownership interest. And as you make your payments and pay down that mortgage, your equity increases, and you want to make sure that no one can come back and make any claim against that ownership. Coincidentally today, thanks so much, I appreciate it. Coincidentally today I was actually listening to Les Brown, who is a motivational speaker and a positive mentor, and interestingly enough, and you very rarely hear people talk about having issues where title insurance was something that they should have checked into before they bought a home. But he was explaining a story about how when he was becoming successful, his main goal and purpose in life was to buy his mom a home because his mom was very poor, adopted 7 children, raised them all on a shoestring budget, and how they lived in a very poor neighborhood, bad situation, and he was going to buy his mom a home. And he was explaining how the first home he bought her, he didn't do his research. And he didn't explain the whole story, but basically he said that he didn't make sure the title on the property was checked into, and a previous owner got to come back and claim the home, and they lost the home and had to move back where they came from. And he was devastated because he had bought his mom this home and got her out of the poverty situation that she was in, and come to find out he didn't do all of his research. So I bring this up because we insure the title to the property, as do most title or home closing companies, but not always is the company that you're doing your closing with or that's doing the insurance for you is a reputable backed company. So just like if somebody said to you, well, we'll give you a 10-year warranty on your vehicle, or a lifetime warranty on your vehicle, if that company's out of business because they did something illegal or reputable or couldn't afford to stay in business because they didn't do a good job managing their business, then that warranty is really invaluable to you. It absolutely means nothing. So the title insurance policy is very important to have, and having the title search and making sure that you have insurance, but making sure you deal with a company that takes good care of you, but also has a good reputation. It's going to be around for a long time, has a good reputation for clearing issues so you don't run into a problem, because although title insurance protects you, you also don't want to have to come back and make a claim on that title insurance. So you want to deal with a company that doesn't have claims or doesn't have very many claims, because you don't want to have to deal with the issues even though the title insurance company covers that stuff. So I just wanted to say hi, check in tonight for just a few minutes, talk to you a little bit about title insurance. insurance and let you know a couple other pieces about it. Title insurance is the one and only insurance that there's no deductible for after you purchase it. It's based on the value of the home that you're purchasing, and the lender requires that you get them lender's title insurance because they want to make sure their loan is secure. And title insurance covers you today and for the rest of your ownership for things that happened in the past. So if there was a problem with a previous seller and their ownership wasn't properly documented and that needs to be addressed, or if there is a previous mortgage or lien on the property that isn't properly released, and that lender could come back and say, hey, I still have a mortgage interest in that property. All of those things title insurance could protect you against. Those are things that happened in the past that are now becoming an issue, and that the title insurance policy would cover you. And you just contact the insurance company, and they have attorneys. You don't have to hire anybody. They have attorneys that actually take care of the claim for you and fight the defense for you. So title insurance is a very valuable insurance. It's a one-time fee. There's no additional cost for it, and it covers you against anyone making any claim against your ownership for as long as you or your heirs own that piece of property. So I just wanted to point it out to you. A lot of times people say to me, I don't even understand what a title company does. There's three things that we as a title or a home closing company do. Number one, we coordinate all of the people and all of the costs and all the documents to make sure everything's in order for you when you sit down at that table. We pull everything together at the table, so you're sitting down and everybody's signing at the same time, signing all the documents. Number two, we search that title and we resolve anything that could potentially become a problem for you once you take ownership to make sure that that never happens for you. And if you do have a problem, the title insurance steps in and resolves those issues for you. And thirdly, most importantly, or one of the very important things, is we actually take in all the funds from the closing, from the lender, your new loan, from the buyer, from any other sources that may need to bring any money to the table. We take all of those funds in, and then we pay all of the bills and make sure everything goes back to its proper spot and is paid for through the closing. And that's called escrow. In some states, there is no, the title or closing company and the escrow company are two totally different things. In Maryland and Virginia, the same company handles both of those. So, hey there, Morgan. How are you, sweetie? Good to see you. Thanks for checking in. So a little bit on title insurance and why it's so important to know who you're dealing with, because the title insurance protects you from somebody coming and bothering you after you own that property, knocking on the door and potentially taking that home away, or potentially requiring you to pay off some bill that you didn't incur. And the other piece, a little bit of information again about what a title company or a home closing company brings to the table. We do home closings, and we are passionate about making sure that your process is simple, you're kept in the loop, and you understand everything, and that you and your home are protected once you walk away with those keys. So I'm Connie Foote with Foote Title Group. Make the choice to choose the title company or the home closing company that looks out for you. You have the right to make that choice. Make sure you make it when you do your contract. Make that choice wisely, and I look forward to talking to you again soon. Please let me know if you have any questions, anything I can answer for you. I love to get the information so I can answer questions and do future live presentations on things that you may need to know or want to know. And also check out our website. There's lots of information there. There's a home buyer's guide. There's a home seller's guide. There's all kinds of links to information that could help you when you're buying a home. There's also sample home closing documents. They're not all the documents that you may sign at closing, but they are a good large group of them. They may not be exactly the same thing you sign, but they're going to be very similar to what you're signing, and it'll give you the ability to read through some of that before you actually get to closing and potentially ask any questions that you may have. Any of our team members are also listed on our website, and they're here to help you with any questions that you may have. Even if we don't know the answer, we probably know where to find the answer for you. So we are here to help you. Connie Foote with Foote Title Group, where your home closing should be the simple part. Have a great evening, and thanks for tuning in, ladies.